Alright, so basically I did a challenge where I was going to post some pictures of my artwork for Euro 2022. So it's the Women's Euros this summer, and since April I started kind of working through and doing different artwork for different footballers, whether it was Alexis Putellas, Mappy Lyon, Lucy Bronze, Ada Helgeberg, all those popular players that are literally making a scene in the women's game, and then also trying to then promote as well, kind of do a bit of collab with some people. And at the same time, I was just there like, you know what, let me just break the mold, because this is the video where I'm basically going to tell you how you could put yourself out there by doing different things. I'll give you the process of the Euro 2022 artwork that I did. I'll break it down each bit so then you know what I was doing. So with Alexis Putellas, all of them were doing digital artwork, and the thing is, I could actually do traditional artwork too. But with that being said, I was also like kind of trying to put as much projects as I can, because when it comes to traditional art, you gotta literally take the time to try and match the person's emotions and face and detail it pretty well. Otherwise, if you rush it and all that stuff, then it's gonna come out an absolute mess. So with that being said, I was like, you know what, let me do something that would kind of boost as an artist and try and gain people's attention by just being like, hey, I can do this painting or that painting, I could do murals, I could do designs for any upcoming sport events. It doesn't have to be just women's football in general or anything that relates to, you know, women's sports, but also kind of the men's sports as well. With that being said, I do recommend people actually going into it with like let's see how I produce the work. Because at the same time, you want people to just look at your work and be like, oh, he can do this. I wonder what happens if I get him to do that. Because it's never too late to actually have people like UEFA or FIFA or anyone to actually get in touch with you about doing artwork for them. Because at the same time, that means you're exposing yourself and also getting paid to do what you can. So this video is just basically kind of a way to encourage people like myself and other artists to showcase their work, and don't see it as just a one-off. Do it as like a trendsetter, because at the same time you want people to look at what you do. I gained so much traction on Twitter with my Ada Helgeberg artwork, and Ada Helgeberg herself reacted to it pretty well, and I was actually kind of blessed to have that. Yeah, I haven't really made the progress on that yet, but I'm trying to do something that would kind of put people and get them to, you know, give them some products that I've made through that. So I've made some jumpers of some footballers, I've made like posters for footballers, I even made flags for footballers, and at the same time it will just be a way to kind of gain the popularity of, you know, doing stuff for others. So that way it's a way to kind of, again, expose yourself to the world and making sure that you jump on the trend whenever it is big or small. So with that being said, the World Cup for the men's is coming up, and the World Cup 2023 is coming up next year. So the thing is, you need to be 2 steps ahead of that progress, so then you can also show people that you can make a sale on that, and also just be organized with your timing, because every artist needs to be organized with their timing. Because at the same time, if you're not very organized with your timing, you're just kind of not really doing it at the last minute, it's not really going to do it for you. So then you kind of feel like, oh, you missed out on people looking at you and being like, oh, I had no idea you can do that. But it is always about sharing as well. So you got to be annoying on social media and share as much as you can. So then it's like, in a way, you're kind of being like, okay, maybe they will go into it eventually. But for me, I have ad problems as well, because sometimes when you do adverts and you have to constantly promote yourself every day, people get so annoyed by it, and then they just think, oh, you know, this is just something I see every day, I'm gonna get annoyed by it. But at the same time, you really want to push yourself into different scenarios and do as much as you can. And it isn't about just being the best artist, it's about doing the best you can in promoting yourself as an artist, and it's hard, I understand that, but at the same time I recommend it. So this was just my progress of how I kind of try to gain as much attraction doing Euros. I'm still getting there, as I'm saying, so it's never too late to kind of like, you know, really get there. So yeah, I've also just wanted to point out that I have a Instagram page that I will be doing all my artwork on many footballers, men and women. Also doing some events there too, but you know, with the UEFA Champions League, the Men and Women's World Cup, Men and Women's Euros, also with the Europa League and the Conference League, Premier Leagues, La Liga, Serie A, Ligue 1, all of those leagues that are in today's football, they will all be posted there. That way I will kind of promote big games such as the Manchester, London derbies, Merseyside derbies, also the El Clasico, also the, you know, the Bundesligas as well, the rivalries. And yeah, this is what I'm kind of pushing myself to do. So yeah, I encourage you to go check them out. I'll be sharing them each time, so that way you would know what I'm doing right now. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Catch you later.